It's Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. And as always, we're going to talk about Cardano. Get ready. Let's go. As reported on previously on this channel and in the Reddit thread, there is an anti-scammer team at IOG. I think unless you've been living under a rock, you realize that scams are a problem in crypto. Scammers love to go after us crypto people. They love to try to steal our crypto. And Cardano, instead of just complaining about it, actually formed an anti-scammer team, which is going to investigate these scammers. Now Charles says they're going to hire actual investigators for the anti-scammer team. People with law enforcement or intelligence backgrounds should feel free to apply. Charles has very sort of casually mentioned in the past that he has, being in the cryptography world, you end up making a lot of contacts with people in the intelligence community. And he said he's been on calls with people in the intelligence community. And I think he said also normal law enforcement. And at the federal level, of course, those two things can sort of overlap. We have entities like the FBI, which are in charge of both domestic counter intel and federal law enforcement. Charles is going to hire some people with actual law enforcement and intelligence backgrounds, and the investigations have already begun. Despite this new hiring, should have a report on the team's first investigation soon. There's already speculation as to who they're investigating. It's been described as a fund, which is kind of a little bit of a buzzword that makes people home in on a certain organization. No idea if that's the one or if it's something aside from that. But what's interesting is Charles pointed out that hopefully this will contribute to scammers actively actually avoiding Cardano. How do you like those alliterations? 3 A's. So hopefully scammers will say, hey, we could try to run a scam inside the Cardano ecosystem, in which case they're gonna investigate us. There's gonna be like professional investigators investigating us. That's probably not good for us. Why don't we run it elsewhere? I'm hoping that happens too. That would be great. But maybe more importantly, this could be a nice basis for an intelligence apparatus and private military when we build the Cardano Citadel. I mean, somebody is going to have to man the watchtowers if we're going to keep out all the no-coiners and the ETH people. Of course, I'm kidding, but it is kind of wild. We're hiring people with this kind of background now to be a part of the Cardano ecosystem. Pretty wild. Next up, item number 2. Cardano hodler Ben Askren continues preparations for his boxing match with Jake Paul. Normally, we wouldn't give a damn about this kind of stuff in the crypto space, especially in the Cardano ecosystem. But it turns out Ben Askren, at least as of, I think it was last summer he mentioned, he is a Cardano holder. He has Cardano. So this changes the calculation for me. I mean, it's completely beside the point that Ben Askren is a former Olympian, an NC2A D1 national champion, 2-time, I believe, a Bellator champion, a 1FC champion, former UFC fighter, disc golf competitor. None of these things matter. What we do know is that being a Cardano hodler, it's already a foregone conclusion that Askren's aura will cause Jake Paul to refuse to fight even before the opening bell sounds. We'll keep track of Ben Askren's preparations for this fight. If you want to have a little peek into that, check out those links below where he talked about his Cardano holdings very briefly, and also one where he's created a nice little video about his preparations for this fight. Check that out. He's a Cardano holder. He's one of us. Maybe the most important thing today we can think about is that we will hit 100% decentralization of block production tomorrow. Breathe it in, my friends. Taste the sweet, completely decentralized air. which is rarefied. Many crypto ecosystems will never know that feeling. I won't go down and name the long laundry list of crypto ecosystems where a bunch of people could basically jump on a conference call and destroy the immutability of their blockchain with a simple consensus among a group of people. It's kind of the opposite of the two pizza rule. You know, they say if you can't feed all the people in one call with two pizzas, you know, you've reached a certain threshold as to the size of the number of people, the pool of people who are required for consensus on something. If your blockchain can reach consensus with a group of people who'd be fed with two pizzas, you probably have a problem. Cardano, not the case. Gigantic number of stake pools, and those stake pools are going to be in charge of 100% of the block production from now on. It's a great thing. It's taken us a long time to get here, and it's something we can be proud of. Part of the ethos, the original ethos of cryptos. As long as I've been in the crypto space, I think I was really paying attention in 2013. Decentralization has always been a big part of that. I don't know if I ever really even thought that much about decentralization before reading the Satoshi white paper, but as soon as I did, I instantly understood the power, efficiency, and maybe necessity of decentralization in running an ever more complex society as we have, I think, globally now. Things are just getting more and more complex with technology. I think decentralization is not only more efficient, but probably necessary to manage all the complexities. Centralized organizations can't even manage the amount of complexity that's occurring in our modern world today. But decentralized systems can, because the complexity is also decentralized. Item number 4, one final item for today. Charles announced yesterday that he's no longer going to go on podcasts if the primary subject matter of the podcast is pricing and value, even if that podcaster might be his friend. And he cited that I don't know if he actually said this, but I think he basically feels it's irresponsible to do this any longer because there's just so much hyperbole in our space, so much talk about price and value, and so much moonboyism, all that stuff. I think he feels like it's irresponsible to participate in those kinds of media outlets when they contribute so much to the pumping of the bubbles, and there can be so much carnage left when these bubbles pop. This is I think this is the right thing to do. I think this is definitely the right thing to do. There is a lot of carnage. Man, I've been through 2 bubbles now, the 2013 bubble and the 2017 bubble, and I remember seeing carnage both times. Everybody thinks they're a genius on the way up, and because basically you go long on anything, you're going to make money, and then on the way down, it's just nothing but a train wreck for everybody. So I applaud this. At the same time, I think there are certain YouTubers who've been super committed to Cardano, at least supporting Cardano among their viewers, among their audience. And I hope those YouTubers know that the Cardano community appreciates everything they did to support Cardano, despite this decision by Charles probably being a good one. With that, I will see you tomorrow.